YouTube. How's everyone doing? Boy, do we have a lot of things to talk about tonight. So, in the meantime, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go over and hit that little bell. That'll notify you of any new live or upcoming videos. So, go do that. YouTube put a cap on our live stream until we hit 1,000. So, if you're subscribed, no problem. But the cap is 25 people. So if you're number 26, you're not going to be able to see what we're doing. We're going to have a lot of live events coming up this spring and summer and into the fall. We're going to do some live fishing, some events, and stuff like that. And we do have some great things to talk about tonight. We'll give it a few minutes here, let some people get into the live stream. I bet by now a lot of people are probably wondering, why did Wally Marshall call you? What's the deal here? Well, we're going to tell you. And if you stick around, I've got a couple stories to tell you. You'll see how it all falls in together. And in the end, I'll have a couple ice fishing pro tips for you. So stick around, don't go nowhere. Grab you something to drink. We'll wait a few minutes here, and we'll get a few people in here. And if I can catch your comment there, I'll try to answer it. If not, hit something below the page when it goes. I'll unlock this and put the video up so people can comment under it. It should go up later on tonight. But man, we've got a lot of great things going on at Indian Lake in Ohio. The ice is on, and I'm not going to tell you to go out there and walk across the ice. That's not my job. But I'll tell you what, there's fish shanties up out there already, and I'm seeing pictures of fish laying on the ice. It's a good sign. We're going to have a pretty good hard freeze with some little bit warmer temperatures this week. I think it's going to be a good week to kind of freeze that ice up just a little bit thicker. So we'll give her a couple minutes here. We'll get into some stuff. I've got some news for you, and we'll head into a good story here, and you'll see where I'm going with it if you stick around here. If you guys are out there ice fishing, I'll show you a little bit of something here. If you guys are out there ice fishing now and it's cold, we're getting into some of them frigid temperatures. I'm not endorsed by this product, but I swear by it. That Real Magic, it takes memory out of your line. You can cast further, which you're not casting ice fishing, but it'll keep your line from freezing up. And ice causes frays in the line, and frays cause breaks. If I was you, I'd pick up some of this, keep your line, and you can spray your eyelets. You'll be in good shape. Is anybody out there can give me a thumbs up or comment if my video and audio is coming through all right tonight? If I'm loud and clear. All righty. Well, I'm going to get started on this. I'm excited for this year. Like I said, there's a lot of great things going on at the lake. If you guys get a chance, if you're not subscribed or if you're not in any of the fishing groups on Facebook, say like Indian Fishing Reports, Indian Lake, Sawguy Crappie, you got tournament pages for catfish. Hey, Dave, Jody, how you doing? Jody, thank you. Everything's good. I appreciate it. You got all kinds of pages there for tournaments going on in groups. You got ice fishing groups. A lot of great people there to help you out. I don't even have to mention a name. You guys may be able to get to watch me crap my pants this week or this coming weekend. I may go ice fishing for the first time. It just depends on the weather. We'll wait and see later on. But one of my co-hosts, Dave, he's big into ice fishing, and he just happens to be down there at the lake. invited me down, and we're going to see where we're at towards the end of this week as far as the weather and what the thickness of the ice is. But if so, I'll probably live stream it from the probably from the point that we throw the gear on the ice till whenever we call it quits, or we may have to break it up into a couple parts. But you'll get to see me crap my pants. I'm not gonna lie to you; it's gonna scare the crap out of me. Um, but I'm looking forward to it if I can get out there and do that. Uh, in other news, I was offered this year, or this towards the end of the year, I was offered a kind of like a partnership with a major company to work with them on their products on my videos. Big line of products. I turned it down. Reason being, right here, it didn't have that on it. I don't have to say where it's from, but I'm not going to be a sellout. I've always believed in and pushed, buy local, buy American made, American pride. I'm not going to knock their product at all. They've got some nice products, but that's not where I'm going with what I'm doing. And anyone else that's around me that's involved in some of the things we're doing, we're pushing another thing, something that's kind of been long forgotten by many. Um, people need to support America. I'll just put it that way. But, you know, by now, everybody's probably wondering what the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Crappie himself, Wally Marshall, was calling me for. Well, I'm going to tell you a story, and this is how it starts. A couple winters ago, I was off of work because I'd done road construction, so I get a few months off, and was laying around bin shopping, buying a bunch of toys for the following pre spawn crappie. Well, I picked up a Wally Marshall signature series, Mr. Crappie Slab Daddy, 12 footer. Okay. Now, at the time, I can't remember, but I believe that it was paired. It was either paired and came as a combo, or I bought this separately. But it had a SS1 series little miniature bait caster reel, Mr. Crappie reel. I went out with one of my, well, actually, it was two of the co hosts, and we took the pontoon out. We got into a mess of crappie, perch, bluegill, and I spent most of my time retrieving line out of the inside of this reel. So what was happening, I don't know if you can see it there, but in between the spool and that silver body is a little gap. And the line, every time you'd reel a couple times, it would get sucked up in there in between it and down into the gear. So I'd have to tear it apart, retrieve the line out of it, put it back together, and I'm missing fish, and I'm screaming Wally's name to high heaven. I thought, well, 2 days of that, I changed the line. I'd done all kinds of things, could not figure it out. I'm like, man, what the heck is going on? It's a cool little reel, man. It's got a lock on anti drag, anti reverse, the whole 9 yards. And I realized it wasn't a bait caster. I was using it to flip and pitch with and jig some lily pads. Fine. It was perfect for that. But the problem being, I could not flip crappie in the boat over the high side of a pontoon. Being 12-foot rod, it's about impossible without having to reel some. So I've had that laying there for about 2 years looking at it. Oh, what the heck? So the other day, I wrote Mr. Crappie a letter telling him the whole story, gave him my contact information. Lo and behold, yesterday morning, I get a phone call. It was Wally Marshall himself. Now, you're going to have to see where I'm going with this. Wally Marshall himself took time out of his busy day to contact me and was concerned about his product. That says a lot. I talked to him for about an hour. He was very concerned, very helpful, very nice guy. I mean, the guy's a legend, you know, a legend in the crappie world, and he's got nice products. When I got done talking to him, there's no doubt in my mind that there's not one product that I wouldn't buy from him. And that's because his customer service, customer relations, that's American pride, folks. That's what I'm talking about. Something that's long forgotten. Like I said, there's nothing that I wouldn't buy from him. And I've always been happy with their products. You know, if you have a problem with some product or something, don't be crappy with the people, man. You know, state your concern or whatever. I've had Rod and Bob's. I had a problem with one of their bobbers one time. There was no doubt in my mind there was a flaw in their material. And I contacted them and told them, hey, look, this is brand new. It still has a sticker on it. Here's a picture. It snapped when I compressed the spring on it. And I told them, hey, I think there's a flaw in your material. You probably need to know that. If there is, it needs corrected. I'm sure they'd want to know that. The guy said, hey, you're in luck. I'm the original founder of Rod and Bob's. What's your address? I didn't want anything from him. Hell, if he would have sent me a bobber, I'd have been tickled. A couple days later, UPS shows up. It was a humongous box. It must have had $500 worth of stuff in it. Nobody had to do anything like that. But it just goes to show you. That's American pride. Customer service. You can't put a number on that. There's no money in the world that you just can't. But folks, that's what I'm talking about. Supporting your local businesses and your products that are made in the United States. Those people care. They want to do business. And I know it's not possible to do all the time because a lot of things aren't made here. But it's important that you do when you can. And man, that just tickled me to death. It made my day. I'll continue to use their products. I would have continued to use their products even if it wasn't, there's nothing I can do with it. But here's what he did tell me. Now, this particular reel, you see this little metal bar right here? It goes across right here. See, there's no line leveler on this. Usually there's a line leveler that runs the line back and forth on a bait caster. This came pre-spooled, okay? Now, I ran the line out and over top of this bar. So he explained to me that's the problem. That line needs to go down underneath that bar and out. And that would keep enough tension downward to keep that line from getting sucked up into the side of this spool. Simple enough. Why couldn't I figure that out? But, he took the time out of his day to explain something that simple to me that I probably should have figured out, but you know, you get flustered when you're messing with line and the fish are biting. You know, it is what it is. I'm happy. I'm gonna put it back on that, take my lures off of that, and put that on something else. I'll have a whole new toy. So I hope everybody enjoyed that story. It just proves the point and restores faith. I do have a few tips for you. If you guys are ice fishing, there's a couple pro tips here. Start with the bigger plastic baits. You know, like your 1/32 ounce with about a 2-inch plastic bait on it. Something a little more aggressive there. And try that first. If nothing's biting it while you're jigging it, start downsizing. Go to your finesse. Start using finesse baits. And move down into your little tungsten ice fishing jigs and your regular ice fishing jigs. Just keep working your way down. The next tip, bounce the bottom. You start ice fishing, bounce the bottom. Stir up that sediment on the bottom down there. Especially perch love that. It releases a bunch of food. Gets it stirred up, perch will come in after that. But you'll get the crappie and bluegill's attention also. And line. Everybody I talk to about what size line you want to use or whatever. I think the standard's probably 2-pound. And everybody has a little different preference. But what I believe, and I'll show you an example. If you go with 2-pound test ice fishing, your jig's down here, this line's tight in the water, more taut, which in turn is going to give you a better hook set. If you're running 4 or 6-pound test, you're probably too heavy. Your line has a little bit of memory in it and stuff, and it's probably doing something, like this on its way down or whatever. Well, you got to take all that slack out of there on that hook set before you even get that hook set on him first. So it may make a real big difference for you in that hook set. Has anybody got any questions? I got a couple other things I'd like to show you too. If I go ice fishing, I usually use this bag to keep some gear in that I don't want to get wet or in the weather. This one, I'm not even going to show you name brand, it don't matter. This happens to be a dry bag, but this one floats, okay? And this one also doubles as a backpack. It's got your straps on it. She locks shut, airtight. If it would go in the water, it's going to float. It's probably perfect to keep some extra socks and shirts and stuff like that into also. Extra camera or anything you don't want to get in the weather. It's a pretty good investment. $20 or something, $25, you can get a good dry bag, and it may save you hundreds or thousands. Something else here real quick. I'm gonna jump up here. This is something that I don't leave home without, and there's some people that I fish with, they'll tell you I always have these on me. I'll probably do a good video on these. I have a couple of them. If you're not familiar with a Lucy lamp, you're going to have to check out a video here. It's a solar powered lamp. They blow up. They'll last you all night long. Perfect for a nice shanty. I use them all the time night fishing. Throw them in your window, let them charge in your car. Throw them on your cooler while you're fishing during the day. They're great, folks. I love gadgets like that. I've had them for 4 or 5 years, and they work like they did when I got them. But I just wanted to share that story with you. I have a lot of other things coming up I'd like to do a live on. I just want to make sure they fit into what I'm doing here. But if you enjoyed that story, let me know. You never know. Maybe we can get Wally to put on a tournament down here or something, do something special. I'm sure I got his permission to do some things there with this video. I'm sure I'll be tagging him in it. And never know, something cool may come of it. I haven't been able to see anybody's comments tonight. I know the last time I was having problems with some things jumping in and out. Well, folks, I'm going to call it a night. I didn't want to make a real long live like I did the last time or the last two times. I wanted to keep them short. But I'm going to jump out of here. I'll see a bunch of you on Facebook, on the Facebook groups, and hopefully I'll make it down there this weekend to do a little ice fishing and show you guys how scared I am. And I might even catch something. Until next time, tight lines.